Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching this in the world. I hope you guys are doing okay. So today I saw this topic on button check and I thought it was a very interesting topic because it's something that I like partaking in, something that I've enjoyed doing over my time in the fighting game community, and it's beef sets. And the topic is if we have become too friendly, if there's not enough beef sets anymore, too many people hugging, and it was propped up by Rob TV. Now before I get into the topic, I just want to let you guys know that on my stream yesterday, or whenever you're watching this, the stream was on the 19th of May, I was challenged by a couple of players to a team battle. So what's going to be happening is I'm going to assemble 5 players. I'm going to be the team captain. They've got their team captain as well. I believe their team captain goes by the name Biscuit B23. Biscuit B23's got a YouTube channel. They're going to be assembling a team of 5 players. 5 high-level players. I am assembling a team of players. Now I'll let you know 3 of the players that have confirmed with me that they're going to be involved. First player on the team is King J. The second player on the team is Rukang. And the third player on the team is Tendo. Those are my 3 players as of now. And we're talking about a potential prize for the winners. I'm not going to be taking home any of the prize money. This will be solely for my team. It's just for bragging rights for me. But I look forward to that. We're going to get that on the channel at some point. Hopefully there's no dropouts. And I still need to find 2 more players up to the caliber of the people on my team, so we're going to be looking to do that. Anyway, moving on to the topic. Rob TV tweets out saying, no more beef sets in Street Fighter, huh? Everyone friendly. I had a new situation every month when I competed. Now I remember growing up in the fighting game community, there was constantly beef sets. I took part in multiple beef sets. Some of my more well-known beef sets were in Soul Calibur amongst the UK guys, but it was definitely a different time back then. It was definitely a time where beef sets would happen a lot more, money matches would happen a lot more. These days you get a lot of hugs, a lot of shaking of the hands, which I'm not completely against, because to me a beef set should only really take place if it's authentic. I don't like it when these sort of things are forced. They can be friendly as well, like friendly money matches, but when it's a beef set, I don't like it when people are doing it for theatrics. I'd like it if it's for real. And then this individual tweets out saying, I think in general we have too many big bird people in the FGC. Role model, nice guy, polite, doing gym pics all day, flexing biceps. We need more drama like K-Brad vs Wolfcrone, F-Champ vs enemies, Punk vs Strider. It's so boring to watch Mena and Angry Bird play, hugging on stage all day. Thing is, I understand, I get it. A more drama-filled FGC is a lot more fun. Now, it doesn't mean that you have to be like full-on hating on somebody, but when there's like a healthy back and forth, a bit of banter, and it's authentic, it's not forced, it is a lot more fun. And if it's an organic beef, like you actually don't like each other, I'm all there for that as well. Obviously, you keep it on the game, you don't go and take it into real life, but beef sets are a lot of fun. Illustrious tweets out saying they end up getting banned by tournament organizers because everyone is soft these days. Now I did make a video saying that people should be welcoming in the FGC, but I don't want people to get that mixed up or muddled up with me saying that we shouldn't have beef sets anymore, because beef sets are like the core and part of the FGC essence. At least when I was growing up in the arcades playing it back in the Street Fighter Alpha 3 days, these things were very prevalent and they were a lot of fun. They made the events a lot more hype. They made going to your friend's house when there was a legitimate beef a lot more hype, and it was just a more exciting time in my opinion. Metal Gear Online 2 fan says, all that was gone the moment the FGC accepted to become esports. Now, obviously esports has streamlined the way we compete a lot more. It has made it so that it's a lot more handshakes, a lot more hugs, terms of service and all that nonsense. MS says bad guys make the show good. Like in wrestling, there should be a baby face and a heel. I do agree with that. However, I don't like it when people force things. So you've got natural heel characters in the FGC like Low Tier God, Punk, Filipino Champ. Those guys, to me, they come across as natural heels. It doesn't feel like they're forcing anything. I don't particularly want to see somebody that's just putting on an act. It's not as much fun. Like Porkchop, for example, you can tell he talks that shit and he means what he says. Now, it doesn't mean that these guys are bad people just because they are categorized as heels, but they're definitely more of the people that would wind people up and goad them into money matches. Big Bird replies saying, beef sets IMO are arse if they're not accompanied by a high level play. The reason F-Champ vs KBR and K-Brad vs Wolfcrone, Punk vs Strider are memorable is because they're accompanied by very high level gameplay. Other than that, I'm only hooked for 1 minute, then I'm out. I actually disagree with that. I think with beef sets, the personalities really carry through. If you go over to a Foxy Grandpa's channel, he has loads of beef sets where Sikander is featured on there, an exotic baddie, and they don't need to be the best players in the world. Now, granted, they're actually pretty good, but they're not the best Mortal Kombat players. They're not like Sonic Fox or Foxy level or Rewind or any of those guys, but they're pretty high level. But you don't need to be good, you just need to have an entertaining personality, and I will tune into that. I think a lot of people are familiar with 6 Arakin, and while 6 Arakin is not known for being particularly good at Tekken, I would be lying if I said that the whole situation with him and Ninja Killer was not entertaining. Now obviously Ninja Killer is a really good Tekken player, so it was a complete mismatch, but even if he wasn't, the shit talking and the back and forth is what makes it entertaining, so I disagree with that. It doesn't need to be high level gameplay, you just need to have a vibrant personality or know how to talk that shit. He then follows up saying, if I want to watch solely because of shit talk, I'd go watch WWE. That's fair enough, that's his take, I disagree. I think I'll watch any medium if there's enough shit talk just to see who loses and who wins. Not gonna lie, this one's a miss. Some of the best moments, most viral, funniest, and honestly, some of the moments that most capture the struggle and climb towards the top that captivated many players here and now came from stuff like this. I agree. Completely agree with that. Big Bird replies saying there are exceptions of course, but they're getting glorified way too much. It's fun / good if it happens organically or out of nowhere, but to say the scene is boring without it, nah, I don't agree. I personally wouldn't care watching mid-level players beef most of the time, unless they know how to put on a show outside of the gameplay. So many sets are labelled beef sets just because someone called another trash or something. I do agree with that to some extent. I wouldn't say the scene is boring. Whenever I show up to a tournament, it's always a lot of fun, but it doesn't have that same atmosphere like it did back in the day. Now there's definitely things that have improved in the scene, don't get me wrong, but I would be lying if I said the atmosphere has definitely shifted. I wouldn't say it's shifted in a bad way, but it does not feel like the days of old when guys were showing up to really make a name for themselves and take out their enemy. Like I remember going to Trocadero Arcade and there would be guys there that really didn't like each other and the atmosphere was 100. Now obviously if they take it off the game and it gets too personal, I'm not for that. I think that's all silly. But if you're ripping into somebody, you're cussing them out, you go to play the game, you cuss them while they're playing the game, you take their money, all of that I think is really funny. But I do agree with Big Bird, it can't be forced because then it loses its magic. When it's authentically driven, when it's authentically grown, that's when it's a lot of fun. Yam Yam Bigelow says begging FGC people to stop asking for a face and heel in community. Like in wrestling, you can't be a heel in FGC. A heel is an actor. You just be what we call an arsehole. I don't agree with that. I think in FGC terms, if you're calling somebody a heel, they're usually the kind of person that would instigate a beef set. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're being nasty to somebody, but some people are really good at talking that shit. Some people like competition like that. I for one enjoy doing it. Now I wouldn't really say that I'm a heel persona, although I can definitely see why some people see me that way. I can see why some people might see me as a face, but I like talking that shit, but it's always on the game. Whenever I'm talking to my stream chat, we're talking shit to each other. We were just talking about doing the 5v5, which is now underway, and I even had a challenge from one of my mods, Alexis, who called me out on Mortal Kombat, and I answered the call. I said, you know what, I'll turn on Mortal Kombat 1 despite all the shit talk if we can get Foxy to facilitate a beef set. So I'm calling you out now on video as well, Alexis. If you still want to run that, if Foxy is interested in hosting that, I will turn on Mortal Kombat with no practice and I will decimate you. Just putting it out there. I think it could be done, but you'd have to be super good at understanding what a wrestling heel is on and off screen and what the boundaries of your opponents are. You can't be a good heel, even more so in the real world, if you have an ego. I don't know about that. I don't think you really need to study wrestling and understand what a good and bad guy is. I understand what he's getting at, but I just think people need to know not to take it off the game. Obviously don't involve people's mums, all of that stuff. You keep it on the game and you're like, bro, you're rubbish at the game, your cheeks, your ass, I'm gonna destroy you, I'm gonna take your money, all that stuff, whatever. That's very baseline, but you get what I'm saying. As long as you're doing that and you're very good at talking that shit, very good at having back and forths without letting it blow out of proportion completely, then yeah, I guess you could be seen as a heel character. And I do think those people do make it more exciting. They definitely make it more exciting. It's not to say that you don't get two guys go up there that like each other, that shake hands and they have a fantastic game, but when there is animosity between two people and it's just on the game and the commentators are into it and the crowd is into it, it's very hard to replicate that sort of atmosphere. I saw this comment under Button Check and it says, I love how this is the only video game community where you will find people crying about not having people to cry about. I think the thing is that a lot of people that play fighting games, I'm not talking for everybody here, but I think a lot of people that play fighting games grew up watching WWE. And one of the things that made WWE interesting was not just the wrestling matches, although obviously they're a massive factor. It was the shit talking that happened before it. Stone Cold Steve Austin versus The Rock would not have been as entertaining if there wasn't such a great rivalry there. Kane versus The Undertaker would not have been so entertaining if there wasn't all that shit talk going on before. The Hardys versus Edge and Christian versus the Dudleys, you know, they spoke that shit, got the crowd invested. Even in more recent times, CM Punk and Drew McIntyre, for example, those two haven't even fought yet, and the reason that we are so invested is because they have been talking their shit like crazy. Now what I will say, quick side note, for the first time in maybe a long time, Drew McIntyre, in my opinion, is actually cooking CM Punk. He's doing some of his best work. But again, shit talking does really draw people in, and it does make the whole atmosphere around it more exciting. It's even better when we know that these two don't want to actually kill each other off the game, but there's a point to be proven on it. It's a lot of fun. And then Rob came back saying, FGC, this was the most innocent throwaway tweet in the world. I was just noticing that people aren't getting into little money match feuds anymore. Didn't think twice about this tweet, and some of y'all started fighting, subtweeting. Never again, bro, y'all got it. The thing is, yeah, is that you can't drop a nuke like that on a scene that likes shit talking and expect nothing to happen. Now, I'm in agreement with some of these people here where the heel versus babyface dynamic, it does really work. It's been proven in wrestling, and like I said, the audience has massive crossover between wrestling and between anime as well. Some of our favorite fights in anime was due to the build up, all the shit talking, the fan base is shit talking each other, who's gonna win the fight, this, that, and the other. And I think that translates with wrestling really, really well. But I'd like to hear from you guys. Let me know what you think about this. Does the FGC need more shit talkers? Do you like it when there are shit talkers, or would you rather it was just shake hands and have good hugs and all that? But with that said, that's all I really got for the video. Stay tuned for this team battle. We're still looking for 2 more people to join. Like I said in the beginning, we've got King J, we've got Tendo, and we've got Ru Kang. There's 2 more slots available. We're going to try and sort out some sort of prize for these people. Like I said, I'm not going to take any of the prize money. It's going to go all to the team. I just want the bragging rights of saying that I had the winning team, and hopefully we can get it going very soon. If you think you're up to the level of Tendo, King J, or Ru Kang, send me a message. We'll see if we can add you on the team. Please don't be disappointed if you don't get added to the team. Nothing personal. It's just who I think is going to be best at dealing with a wide range of matchups. I'm sure the guys over on the other side are going to be picking out some very, very strong players. So I need to make sure that I pick somebody that's going to bring the W home for the team. Anyways, guys, take care of yourselves. Have a good day and peace.